Press conferences are supposed to be all microphones and mind games, but this one turned into a volcano.
It reminds me of like one of those budget YouTube hood movies where someone just talks about their whole life and what they've come from and talking as if they're from one of the ghettos in Iraq or Africa or somewhere like that. But you know, he's got a sob story, he's running by it, and that's what makes him feel better, so we respect it. I just kind of listened and said my piece.
And you said to him, what have you done? Tell us what you've done.
Because as I said, like, you line up all the heavyweights, he was just talking about, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I said, but why are you worrying about what someone else has done? What have you done as a fighter to kind of boost your ego up? But he couldn't answer it because he ain't fought no one like us.
Jake Paul played his usual role, grinning, poking, pushing the line, until Anthony Joshua stood up like a man who's had enough of internet energy and disrespect. In a flash, AJ was in his face, angry, locked in, reminding Jake that this isn't a prank channel, this is heavyweight business.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do that until I finish fighting, no matter who it is.
Don't matter, we're gonna fight now, we're gonna fight tomorrow. He snapped, and the room suddenly felt way too small for two egos this big. Security jumped in, voices rose, and cameras shook as the crowd roared like they just witnessed round 0 of the main event. One thing became crystal clear in that moment. Jake Paul might have thought this was another marketing win, but AJ just turned it into a real fight, the kind where feelings get bruised long before faces do.
Look, Netflix have spent a lot of money, MVP have spent a lot of money, and Jake would look like a plonker if he pulled out the fight now after giving it the big one. And he knows that, and this fight's happening. You know, and that they think, look, one thing I'll say is this. If there was ever a good time to fight Anthony Joshua, it's probably now, right? Coming out of what will be 14 months of inactivity. By the way, he's also been in training camp for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, the time comes around. He's having to make weight. Maybe the confidence isn't where it has been in his career. So yeah, you can start dressing it up.
Sliding right out of all the press conference chaos and straight into Teddy Atlas territory, we're suddenly sitting at the boxing family dinner table while Uncle Teddy pours hot truth on the mashed potatoes. And listen, when a legend like Teddy starts saying, hey, don't be shocked if Jake Paul actually has a chance, you almost choke on your drink.
It's a choice of where people want to go to watch. It's still their choice. Before we look at all the reasons why Joshua should smash him, he's a pro fighter, 2-time Olympian, 2-time heavyweight champ, you know, bigger, stronger, you know, highest level of fighting at this weight class. I mean, he should destroy him like he destroyed Ngannou. And a lot of people will use that comparison. But styles make fights. And Jake Paul's not going to fight him the way Ngannou fought him.
The man breaks it down like he's solving a crime. Jake's younger, Jake's faster, Jake's smarter with those sneaky contract clauses, and Anthony Joshua, he hasn't fought in forever. He's cutting weight like he's auditioning for a modeling show, and mentally, who knows which version of AJ walks into that ring. Teddy's basically giving us a checklist of things the internet forgot to mention, like how Jake just surviving 8 rounds might count as a win in Jake Paul world.
Where maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it, but his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at?
He even brings up Netflix lawyers like they're guarding the fate of humanity, saying they're not signing off on a live disaster special. And you, me, all of us are sitting there like, is Teddy Atlas really saying this upset could kind of make sense? That's when you know this fight has officially gone from circus to science experiment to maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't laugh too hard just yet.
I'm just putting it out there that before you just say, yeah, it's gotta be Joshua, don't discount how smart Mr. Paul has been so far. I wouldn't count him out in the ways that I just laid it out.
Sliding right out of Teddy Atlas, turning the Jake Paul versus AJ circus into a psychological thriller, we crash straight into Dave Allen, and this man is speaking like the bartender who's heard way too many wild stories to believe anything anymore. He's sitting there staring at BoxRec like it's a crime scene file, double checking Jake Paul's past opponents just to make sure his eyes aren't lying to him. And you, me, we're nodding along because this matchup really does feel like someone hit the randomizer button on boxing.
I reckon this kid Jake Paul could win an area title, definitely. I really think he could. He trains hard. I respect all of that. I respect him for what he's doing. Brilliant, he's having a go, amazing. But he's now fighting arguably a top heavyweight of the last 10, 15 years. One, it's dangerous. We're talking like it's a real fight. The whole thing I've been doing right now is based on it's a real fight. They're both going to try and flatten each other.
Dave starts listing Jake's resume like a roast menu. YouTuber? Check. Basketball guy? Check. MMA fighters who retired before TikTok existed? Check. And when he gets to Tommy Fury, lovely lad, but area title level at best. I swear, even my coffee paused to listen. Allen gives Jake his flowers. Top 3 heavyweight of the last 15 years versus a guy who used to weigh 13 stone fighting YouTubers? Brother, even logic is trying to tap out. And then Dave Allen does what every honest boxing brain eventually does. He says the quiet part loud. This is dangerous. Not funny, dangerous. Heavyweight sleep mode, dangerous.
It's dangerous. He's not a heavyweight, he's a cruiserweight. If that. Turned pro at 13-2. And he wasn't a kid, he was 23 years of age. He wasn't a kid, he's not grown into heavyweight. He boxed Julio 5 months ago at 14-3. Might cut a bit of weight, might come down from 15 stone, but it's dangerous, really. It's dangerous, very dangerous, because if Anthony Joshua hits him on the chin, he will put him to sleep.
The moment AJ lands clean, Jake might start wondering why the world suddenly has 2 moons. And Dave isn't being hateful. He literally hopes AJ knocks Jake down clean, Jake gets up at 10, everyone collects their mountain of money, and we all move on without a hospital visit. But he also hits us with the nightmare scenario. What if AJ actually hurts him? What happens to the sanctioning, the promoters, the whole sport? And as he's saying all this, we're sitting here with that same nervous grin because yeah, it's all fun and memes until a heavyweight cannonball touches a cruiserweight jaw. Dave wraps it up perfectly. He'll watch it the same way you watch a circus stunt that looks entertaining but might end with paramedic.
The intrigue is there to watch it for me. Yeah, I will watch it the same way I would go to the circus to watch to be entertained by something a bit mad. But Anthony Joshua for taking the fight, I'm not sure. So it's a lot of money to turn down, to be fair. But if Anthony Joshua goes in there with Jake Paul, plays nicely, wins on points, takes longer than 2 or 3 rounds, reputation with the casual public done. I'll watch it if he's holding him up and playing nicely. I'll understand. I'll watch it and think, well, he could have stopped him.
Sliding out of Dave Allen, breaking down the AJ versus Jake circus like a man reviewing a theme park safety manual. We land straight into Steve Gefford, the guy who's been inside the Jake Paul camp, eating jabs for breakfast and watching this madness unfold up close. And Steve sounds like that one friend who says, yeah bro, it's crazy, but hear me out. While holding a parachute, he's telling us Jake's mentality is the real wild card. The dude genuinely believes he can beat Anthony Joshua, and honestly, that kind of stubborn confidence is half the reason this fight even exists. Steve's basically saying Jake has been dying to show levels, to prove he's more than the YouTuber with the right hand, but business politics kept giving him ex-NBA players and semi-retired MMA guys.
Joshua, he's accomplished everything in boxing, from Olympic gold medal to now a two-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So I think as far as him taking this fight, if anybody deserves to go and have a fun fight like this, it is Anthony Joshua. And Jake, you know, he is kind of showing that he'll fight anyone, you know.
Now he finally gets to test the full download against a man who hits like a runaway fridge. This is like skipping driving lessons and entering the Formula One main race. Admirable, but slightly terrifying. And Steve's out here nodding like, yep, let's see what happens. Then the interviewer drops the classic UK debate, is AJ chinny? And Steve reacts like someone just insulted his grandma's cooking. He breaks it down perfectly. Heavyweight punches aren't love taps, they're meteor strikes. Ruiz, Dubois, Klitschko, those dudes could put anyone onto canvas. And when they ask if Jake has power to hurt AJ, Steve goes full scientist. Speed is power. Translation, danger doesn't always arrive wearing a big cape. Sometimes it sneaks up wearing Nike footwork.
I mean, why is he chinny? Because he got stopped by Daniel Dubois and Ruiz. I mean, listen, this is a contact sport, you know. Like if you get hit, the human body's not made to be getting punched in the face. If you get hit, especially by these guys, Andy Ruiz, who's a good puncher, Dubois, we know is a big puncher. You get hit clean, you're gonna go. You're possibly gonna go down. Especially those guys, 230, 40, 50 pound guys. You know.
He says Jake is quick, sharp, unpredictable, but he also admits Joshua isn't coming to play patty cake. The man's preparing for Tyson Fury next, and Jake is trying to crash that party like a wildcard villain. So the question isn't can Jake land, it's will he survive what lands back? And that suspense is exactly why you and I are counting the days like kids waiting for a roller coaster to drop. This whole AJ versus Jake Paul saga is part blockbuster, part science experiment. Joshua turned the press conference into round zero. He's training like a king, sharpening his crown, and Jake is out here rewriting the script with wild confidence and heavyweight sparring partners. Teddy Atlas is warning us not to ignore the sneaky variables. Dave Allen is calling it entertaining but genuinely dangerous. And Steve Gaffrard is saying mentality plus speed might make this way crazier than people think.
We'll see, you know, but I would imagine he's going to come. He's going to be on his P's and Q's. He knows there'll be a lot of eyes on him for this fight, so he's going to be looking to make a statement because I think they have plans of him fighting Tyson Fury next. So I think he's going to take this very seriously, and Jake's definitely taking it very seriously, and he's going to try to ruin the plans.
So at the end of the day, if AJ shows up locked in, it could be a fast good night. But if Jake survives long enough to make us raise an eyebrow, we're about to witness one of the most polarizing shockers boxing's ever seen. Now drop your prediction in the comments. Who wins? How long does it last? And is there any universe where Jake pulls it off? And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.